I wanted to go over Luke Skywalker's philosophy in Star Wars The Last Jedi. This is Mike Zero here once again. If you guys are new here to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, it is greatly appreciated. Now, I wanted to specifically go over Luke's philosophy during the events of The Last Jedi. We do know that this character is disillusioned and has let go from the teachings of Obi-Wan, Yoda, and even his own father, Anakin Skywalker. Now, I do have reason to believe that in The Last Jedi motion picture, Luke Skywalker doesn't believe in the dark side. Now, this all comes from the new canon book, Star Wars Journey to Star Wars The Last Jedi, The Legends of Luke Skywalker, some stories of which take place after the events of Return of the Jedi, leading up to the events of The Last Jedi itself. Now, there is a point in time where Luke Skywalker travels to the planet Luel. It's an ancient planet that was forgotten by the galaxy and is full of creatures known as the Wind Trusters. These things are bird-like creatures that the people of Luel actually ride. It somewhat reminds me of something from Avatar, if you ask me. That's how I'm picturing it in my head. And Luke Skywalker travels to Luel, and he meets the people of this planet and learns that they actually believe in something else. Not the Force, but their own version of the Force called the Tide. And Luke Skywalker, okay, wants to learn more about the Tide. The Tide is their way of the Force, and he actually starts, getting into this deep conversation with Elder Kyla. Alright, Elder Kyla is one of the main characters on this planet of Luel, who heavily studies the ways of the Tide. And Luke Skywalker wants to learn the ways of their version of the Force, so he actually does, and they only let him do this if he is to pass on this knowledge as a teacher to others, such as students. And what's really interesting is that at some point, Elder Kyla reveals to Luke Skywalker that they don't believe in the dark side. In fact, they believe that any way of controlling the Force is misuse. So, they don't believe in the dark side. They believe that any use, or any control, I should say, of the Force is misuse. And Luke Skywalker agrees to take on the training of the ways of the Tide and forget everything about Yoda's training on Dagobah. So he puts Yoda's Jedi training aside and uses this way, alright, of the Tide because he realizes that this knowledge is something that no Jedi has ever touched on and has ever learned of. And Luke Skywalker is the first Jedi to learn about this knowledge on the planet Luel by the people of Luel. So they don't believe in the dark side, and they believe that any control of the Force is misuse. Luke Skywalker actually goes on with his training and learns to breathe underwater and rides the Wind Trusters. And I believe that this all could very well be inspiration as to why Luke Skywalker seeked out the first Jedi Temple, specifically on ahch-to, also a water world, much like Luel. And what's really cool is that maybe at some point in time in the past, Luke Skywalker did go underwater on ahch-to and discovered, ancient remains of the first Jedi Temple, or places that lead to the first Jedi Temple, because that very well may be the tree itself. So if Luke Skywalker took on the training and agreed to pass on that knowledge to students as a teacher, it could very well be that Luke Skywalker now, in The Last Jedi motion picture, doesn't believe in the dark side as the people of Luel did. They don't believe in the dark side, and maybe Luke Skywalker, took on their knowledge and took on their philosophies, and now doesn't believe in the dark side as well. Let me know what you think about all of this, guys, in the comments section, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night.